Hello ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's Gare Bear here today bringing you a short little video, probably around 10 minutes once it's edited down. This is basically, it's mainly for the Team Direwolves members, but if you just play CSGO regularly, you can learn a lot from this as well, especially if you manage a team as I do. Basically, in this video, I was going over with some of my teammates the defaults for our playstyle on Mirage. I go over the positions I want them playing, the things I want them doing, and I cover a few basic nades and strategies and stuff like that. So if you find any of this useful, please just leave a like down below. Also stick around for the outro. Got a new song which is actually pretty sick, and I got permission from the makers of it to actually use it in my outros, intros, videos, stuff like that. So I was actually really proud of that, and yeah, hope you guys enjoy. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out. In the palace, someone who plays like this a lot is Nico. So if you want to watch demos on how to play this more effectively, just look at Nico's demos. So basically, you'll be coming into Palace, and depending on the strat for the first little bit, you're going to be just kind of holding angles here, like either here or here, because usually a CT will jump up and push through here, especially once it gets to like a minute 30, minute 40, somewhere in there, they'll start to get anxious and push through. Your job is to get those picks when they do start to push through. Keep in mind this is the default, not an execute. So going off the defaults, I don't like. You might be tempted to push out here like this, try get picks, start clearing the site, whatever. Don't do that at all, unless we're doing an execute. I'll go over that later, but in that case, the Palace player should still be staying in Palace. So if you are not doing an execute and you're not needed somewhere else, what you should be doing is you should be waiting around here. If no one's pushing, you can come up along this side just in case so someone does push in and you're not in the open coming up on this side. And then what you can do is you can kind of just push out to here, start like, you know, jiggle peeking angles like this or whatever, right? Clear these out and then come over to here. This is about the furthest your aggression should go. You shouldn't be going further than that. If I remember right, there's actually a nade you can do here to smoke this off, right? Pretty sure you line up like with this part of the bot thingy and then you just move this way, kind of thing. When you're smoked, that'll be the throw. Like if this is smoked out, I don't remember the exact lineup, but it's like that. For this area, you can bounce flashes and stuff off like this. That one came out and popped right here, which is going to catch people if they're looking like this, because it pops right there. It's going to catch people in jungle, CT, not necessarily firebox. It's going to catch people here, Tetris, stairs, sandwich, pretty much everywhere, right? Even over in connector there if they're jumped up. You can, of course, do like the same thing with smoke or whatever. That kind of smokes off sandwich if you're running forward. If you're not running forward, it kind of smokes off a little bit closer here for you. But, you know, that's not, you know, really useful for the most part. Banking it out a little bit more gives you the same kind of effect as the flash. But that's not really useful smoke either. Yeah.
Can you smoke connector from Palace or not?
From Palace? No, not without peeking. I'll show you that in a second. If you need to smoke and your player's in sandwich or something, you can come out here and you can kind of just line here and throw like that. And that'll land on stairs. Other than that, you can't really do it without peeking. So this is position 1. I can't stress this enough though, you guys need to play passive when you're in these spots. You're still here, right, Gamer? Gamer? Is he even here, or his mic might be muted, or?
Yeah, he's still here. He's still here.
Yep, yeah, sorry about
that. Okay. So you've been here like the whole time, or?
No, yeah, I've been here. I've just been quiet.
Okay. Basically on these, don't play aggressive. You want to play passive, get the picks. Like, honestly, I can't stress that enough, though, because a lot of times you guys will push in and overextend kind of thing. Just end up dying.
So just don't play aggressive and you're good, right?
Pretty much. Aggressive will come when we're doing the executes, which is not then. So basically the second position, number 2, is over here at ramp. This guy is going to be the one who just kind of sticks around this area. He's going to be the one to throw the smokes, or one of the smokes and like the flashes and all that stuff if we do an execute on A. So you should be peeking like this kind of area, stopping them from pushing up and getting what's it called, control around this general area. You want to stop that. So you can see guys from stairs from here. You can, you know, flash yourself out, peek this kind of area here. Don't peek out all this way here because you're exposing yourself then to CT, to here, to stairs, to sandwich, to like there, people up here, people here. So again, you have to play really passive. It might get boring just sitting around here waiting for a push or whatever, or even like up here just waiting for people to push. And you don't necessarily have to be peeking out and getting too much information. You're just waiting to see if they use utility, you're waiting to see if they shoot, you're waiting to see all kinds of things like that, so we can try and get an idea of how many are in each site. Basically, like, if you go down in one of these positions, it fucks your team over and puts them at a disadvantage for the rest of the game. Well, round, but also possibly game. So basically just play around this area, try to get a pick if you can. If not, that's fine. You don't want to worry about kills too much, you just want to worry about, you know, getting the information. Position 3, I'm going to go over, is actually over towards B, obviously. As I said, I'll assign you guys a position once I review who would be best at each position. So position 3 is going to be underpass. The person watching underpass is pretty much just going to come and hold like an angle like this. That's about it. You're just stopping them from pushing into underpass. Simple as that, you know. There's not really much else you have to do. Position 4 will be in apartments. You're not going to be pushing out like this. Right? Push out, hold an angle like this. Catch them if they come up there. Catch them if they're pushing in. You know, Molotov off van. Fucked up. Molotov off van if need be. You know, whatever, right? Just get the information. Don't overextend. If you have to, like, smoke this off, then you can push up over here. Something that's good to do if the CT is smoked here like this is to push yourself up to this wall and look straight at the wall, while giving yourself enough view to the side so you can see once the CT pushes through. I'll show you once the smoke starts to clear. But if you get right in here against the wall, like at this angle here, they're not going to be able to see your gun, but on the edge of my screen I can see if one of them starts to push through. And this is actually an under-checked spot. Like, you don't stick out as much as you would think there, because they'll be pushing through like this and focusing on this area, right? It's kind of like a real off angle kind of thing for you to actually play from. So that's position 4 is apartments. Position 5 I don't really need to go over because that's the opper, who at this current time is myself. If that changes, I'll have to go over that with that person, obviously. It's going to be a really dynamic role because, you know, I might push up mid and try to get a pick some rounds. I might go B some rounds. I might go A. I might go Palace. You know, it's going to be kind of on the dynamic. And I'll be calling out to whoever's at that spot each round that I'm going with them, or, you know, cover this, whatever.
Alright.
Something we're going to be going over in a little bit is actually one of the comms from one of the actual matches. It was Cloud9 against Fnatic, if I remember right, and it's basically their team speak during the whole thing. There's a few things I want to go over in that. It's because it's from Cloud9's perspective, which is a North American team, so that's pretty much the closest we could get, you know. And I just want you guys to, like, you know, hear how they talk once they start losing, when they're winning, stuff like that. You know, they get pumped up at some parts, but they calm back down and they focus on playing instead of, you know, channeling that kind of energy into, for example, chat. Because I noticed a lot when we were playing other teams, you know, you guys will be in chat like, oh, you're bad, you know, you guys suck, you know, stuff like that. Also, people will be, you know, doing the same to us, obviously. So basically, you're not making yourself any better by doing what they're doing, so just avoid doing that. and life will be a lot better in the long run. I get that, you know, sometimes you're happy about a big play or whatever, but don't let like the adrenaline take over. Don't, you know, do stuff like that, because that's going to next round impair your thought process. It's going to impair your decision making, all that kind of stuff. So just keep it calm. Don't get tilted. I know I have to go over that with Swiggle,
By the
and
way-
that's
Oh
a
yeah.
big thing.
But can I show?
Is getting tilted, and I do not want any situations whatsoever where you guys
alright.
are talking bad to each
Alright.
other. If that happens, I'm not, you know, from now on, I'm not going to put up with it. If you guys
Alright.
call
Talk
each
back.
other down or blame each other for something, I'm, you know,
You won't get
I'm
kicked, or
I'm
just.
not gonna stand that.
And by the way,
That's not something I want.
can I show something useful in Sniper's Nest? Because it's like really useful for like tricking the
Is
other
it
team.
the one way or?
One way? No, it's just like it's like a decoy and taking the broke the
Okay.
vents.
I'll show you guys the one way here. I don't know if I showed you both this, but basically if you get into this corner, there's this little like smudge on the roof right there. You guys can both see that, right?
Yeah.
Gamer.
Once he's AFK, I'm just gonna show you something.
Gamer, hello.
Yeah, I have my mic muted, sorry.
Okay. So you guys can both see that. Basically, you
Yeah,
just get in this corner, do a left click throw aiming at that,
Yeah, I saw the one
and
where
then
you
you
were
can come over here. You can come over here as well. If you're using an op, don't peek too far ahead because they're going to see your barrel from lower or even mid.
Alright.
If you're using like an M4 or something, that's also good. But like obviously if you have like a pistol or an SMG, don't throw that. Don't utilize it every round, but something you can do is you can smoke that off if you've used it before and see if they start like refiring it, because if they do, then obviously you know that, you know, they're there kind of thing.
Alright. Alright. So can I like
We'll get to go over that stuff later.
Alright.
So basically, once again, player 1, palace, player 2, ramp, player 3, underpass, player 4, apartments. During an execute on A, we'll call out everyone rotate, get ready for an execute on A. Player 1 should be staying in palace and guarding that and not rotating at all. And player 2 should also stay, this is assuming we have 5 players alive, by the way. A player 2 should also stay at ramp and stop the push. That's so we don't get flanked from either of those while we're lining up smokes and stuff. So positions 3, 4, and 5 will be the ones throwing the smokes, nades, and flashes if we have all 5 alive and we're taking A. So if we go ahead and have someone come up here, someone throw the stairs smoke, I'll go over real quick. This is going to depend because obviously our players right now aren't permanent, so I'm not going to assign, you know, a position to throw this smoke or a position to throw that smoke or whatever. This is the CT smoke. You want to be walking for this one. This is the sniper's smoke. Just like that. That smokes off all you need. Going over and execute on B, I'll cover mid last. Execute on B should look something like this. We'll have players 1 and 2 rotate over, 3 will keep holding underpass, and 4 will keep just holding apps for a push while everyone gets ready. The opper is going to come up and kind of post up in an angle like this as well to help out player 4. I might have said the wrong number there when I first said it, but 4 should be in apartments holding up. This is a smoke for van. You guys probably know this. You need a jump throw bind to throw it. I don't know if you have that or not, gamer, but it's there's a video on it on my channel right now, so you can go check that out. Links in my profile. Not self-promoting, just trying to help you.
Oh, yeah, I already know that smoke.
And that smokes off the van there. You can obviously flash over top of here as well, like so. Sorry, not like that. You don't run forward, really. Like that. Just flash over top. That's going to hit pretty much everyone. Whoever player 4 is going to be your entry fragger, and whoever throws the flashes from here is going to be your second entry. Reasons for that being is the guy back here who's throwing the smoke, he's going to be too far away to effectively entry as a second. The guy down here is going to be way too far away, and then obviously an op can't second entry. So basically, the bomb should be on the opper, pretty much, because the opper is going to be one of the last ones into the site. Two very useful flashes. A flash I learned by watching one of JDM's POVs is off this wall. Pops out right here. That's going to blind anyone van. So plant spots, if you're planning for cat, you should plant about here. Reason being, if you plant here, that's going to have to be a lot farther. Your guy playing cat will come out, and also it's possible to defuse from behind that. So if you plant here, there's no chance. Like you have to come out to here, basically. Another thing about planting there, if it's planted right about here, is if you go up into apps and you actually get right next to this thing and you start spamming through here, you're going to hit around where the guy is defusing place. But if you notice that someone's Molotov'd, don't smoke it right away. Wait 5 seconds. The reason for that is because the Molotovs last 6 seconds, whereas the smokes last 18. So if someone Molotovs off, say here, and I was to smoke it right now, that wasted probably a good 5 seconds of area denial to the CTs. So you're cutting down the time from probably about 25 to 24 seconds down to under 20, kind of thing. Time in this game is really important. You have 2 minutes per round, and it usually doesn't even last that long. Gamer? I
do not.
Okay. It'll tell you how in the video if you jump throw it aiming about there. That'll smoke off your connector.